What up to living like a G? Every time I do it, it's so funny. What up, everybody?
The way I just laughed.
And you probably already know Lauren's here. Hooty hoo! Anyways, she's staying at my house right now, so I thought, you know what? I don't really want to do these videos by myself. It's so much more fun with a person.
Especially me.
Especially me. But we're going to talk about our American Idol experience. What was your favorite part?
There's so many favorite parts.
First of all, we're low-key bummed because we never got to go on the stage. The only stage that we got to go on was Hawaii.
Yeah.
Which that was a pretty fun stage.
Okay, yeah.
That low-key slapped. That was actually really fun. The crowd was like super energy.
And for me, I actually hadn't performed somewhere in a while.
Oh, wow.
That like, honestly, with that kind of crowd, like obviously I was doing like coffee shops and all that.
Right.
But like when a crowd is there to watch you,
yes,
it's so different. And for me, that was one of my first experiences, other than the Keith Urban thing. Yeah. With like being like a crowd like that, people had their hands out.
Yeah,
I was
people were amped.
If you watch my video, I was
people
vibing.
were real amped to be there, and they were like super excited. And then like other people were like, it was so packed that they couldn't even have more people. So then people were paying to like have dinner at the restaurant like next door just to see us. People were just standing on the beach just to watch us. It was kind of crazy.
Yeah, like I was so excited in that performance that usually you have like a plan in your head of what you're going to do on stage. Yeah. Like if you watch Olivia's rehearsal to her
oh my gosh,
she had a whole dance routine.
Hold on though, Olivia's performance though, when she did her
Hawaii.
her sound check, she came on with the robe, right? But didn't do anything else. Didn't do her dance routine, didn't do anything. So we were like, what is her performance about? Like, we're so confused. Yeah. And then we were like, why don't you take like the robe off? She's like, nope, I'm not taking it off. Like, she was very strict about it. We were like, what the heck?
She wanted to wait for the special, like,
yeah. And so then she comes out and does the whole Tina Turner thing and rips the robe off. Yeah. And it's like this bright yellow dress. And we were like, like, what the heck? That was so crazy. That was like one of my favorite performances, honestly.
Yeah, 100% my favorite performance. But I didn't even have anything planned out. And I was just so pumped with the energy of the crowd that like, I looked back at the video, I was like jumping, and, like touching people's hands. That's not something I do either.
You started with that run too.
Yeah. And then like the band kicked in, I was like, hey! I was looking at everyone, I was like, I was so into it.
Yeah, it was really fun. It was a really good crowd. Like it was, okay, what was your like experience though with Hollywood Week?
Hollywood Week.
Bro, I was so deathly ill. Showed up so ill. I had just gone to Miami.
She's like, I'm deathly ill.
I was deathly ill. And I low-key, thinking back now, I think I might have had COVID. Because remember, it took all of Hollywood Week out.
That
it was
me
back
after
in November.
Hawaii. I thought I actually like had vocal damage because I was so sick and I couldn't sing. Yeah. I was phoning up my doctor. Yeah. It was like...
No, I had to get... I got so sick 2 days before I showed up to Hollywood Week, and I've never done like steroids, anything like that, because when you take steroids and stuff, like, and your voice is messed up and you sing, even though you're on steroids, it messes your vocal cords up without like you noticing. So like I've always been like really strict about it, but then I'm about to do this vocal competition, and I'm like, I gotta figure something out. So the doctor gives me like pills, steroids to at least take the swelling down. And also they were like, oh, well, like, why do you need it? I'm like, I'm a singer. And they're like, oh, like, what do you sing? And then I'm like, well, I'm about to go on American Idol. you know, and then they're like big fans. They're like, we'll watch you, whatever. But anyways, I get these steroids. Yeah, joking. I get on the show, and it was so bad that the American Idol staff felt so bad for me that I was supposed to sing on that, I think, Monday. They pushed me to the Tuesday. They're like, look, the only other day we have is Tuesday. You have to go through single rounds Tuesday. And I like was somewhat better on Tuesday, but I'm so glad they didn't air my performance. I was like a mess.
Yeah. I think the one thing, if anyone's watching this thinking about going on American Idol, Margie Mays has this great YouTube video on how to not get sick in Hollywood Week, because there is not a single person I know that left that week not sick, or at least with a sore throat or a horrible voice. Like, I have a video of me in my Snapchat memories coming back from Hollywood Week, and it's just like my really hoarse cough. Yeah. And like I just was in bed for like 7 days.
Bro, people have no manners. You know when you like freaking live with a roommate that you haven't lived with before? You knew them as a friend, but then when you live with them, you're like, holy crap, this is what you be doing. That's what it's like at Hollywood Week, but it's like 400 people. Like one time I brought my hotel pillow. I stuffed it in my backpack and like snuck it out of the hotel because I knew like I only had 3 hours of sleep that night. I needed to sleep at some point or my voice was just going to be spent. So I brought my hotel pillow and I had to leave for something. So I slept a little bit and then they were like, hey, we need you for some TV stuff. And I just left my pillow next to my backpack, bro. Came back, freaking Robbie is sleeping on my pillow. And I walk up, I'm like, And he's like, what? And I'm like, Sir, is that your pillow? No, I don't know whose it is. Yeah, correct. It's mine. Why are you on my pillow? Like,
I wasn't friends with Geena yet, but I remember vividly seeing Rob sleeping on the couch with that pillow.
And I'm like, dude, like, how were you raised in the jungle? Like, what is going on? Like, you can't be doing that. Like, last time I checked, if it was yours, you should use it. Don't take what's not yours.
No, people... I
was like, bum for you because I was totally sick. You probably got sick because of me because I was all over in that pillow.
Oh yeah,
he did get sick.
Karma's a bee.
No, Hollywood Week was
after
Hollywood Week. I found most of the people I was friends with, it wasn't as competitive. It was more everyone's competing with themselves. You're supportive of each other because you're building friendships and connections. So you're like,
some people,
you know
like
what?
That,
yeah. You're like, okay. I was like, you know what? If I don't go through, at least Kimmy's going through.
Yeah,
like
sure.
I love her. Like, good for her. Win it for us both. You know what I mean? But Hollywood Week, there was some good ones and there were some sour apples,
bro. Some of the stuff that they didn't show on TV, I was like, I wish they would have showed on TV because some of that stuff was crazy.
People can be ruthless.
Yeah.
Like,
dude, when we were doing duets, they go, this year we're not doing groups, we're doing duets. So find your partner, bro. It was like freaking Hunger Games in there. People were running up to each other being like, sing something. Nah. Like, it was so ruthless. I literally, I was like, I'm not going to be a part of this Hunger Games, Jennifer Lawrence bullcrap. Yeah. And I walked up the steps and just watched it all, like surveyed it all. And I was like, this is madness. And then I realized, oh my God, there's only 6 people left. I'm one of those 6 people. I need to find a partner.
Yeah.
And literally, like, one girl, I was like, what do you do? And she's like, well, I grew up singing in choir. Like, I'm kind of more of like a singer-songwriter. And I was like, that'll do. Like, and like, that was it. But it was ruthless. Like, people were not
It was
nice.
Literally, I mean, I get why. I'm not even going to say I didn't do the sing for me thing because Michaela Brownlee's watching this right now and she's like, girl, you made me audition.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was literally like, there was no messing around. Like, you know what? I don't know if our voices mixed together well, so I'm gonna try to find someone else.
Well, you really didn't have any time. It was like, pick a partner.
Hey, sing for me. It's like, no. Yeah. Walk away. Like,
dude.
People, my duet partner.
If you had any confidence, it was obliterated during those 30 seconds.
Literally, my duet partner. I love her. We were in the schoolroom because I was, obviously, I'm still a minor. And you have to be in the schoolroom. And I kind of knew her, kind of didn't. Obviously, I was seeing her around. And then duet rounds came, and she had not expressed to me that she knew me in any way. She was not, like, fangirling or anything. And then she came up to me, and she was like, yo, do you want to be partners? And I was like, I don't know. I haven't heard you sing. And then she starts singing. Or no, I think we had, like, a bit of a conversation. And she was like, I've been following you. I've watched every single one of your YouTube videos. I can sing any song with you. I
can harmonize with you.
Yeah,
I know
she was like, I know all the songs you know. I got you. And I was like, okay. She was like, I watched them all. And I was like, okay. So I was like super hyped because I was like, okay, so
this girl's about to be my harmony partner.
I was like, no matter what I say we want to duet, she knows it, right? And she was like, we have really similar genres. Like, I totally.
Also, you have alpha dog in that scenario. Like, literally in most partner scenarios, you're trying to figure out like who is the alpha dog. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, what's going on there? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, who's gonna pick the song? Who's gonna take the lead? Like, it's like very, you know what I mean?
And so then she sang for me, and then I was like. not even 10 seconds in, I was like, we're partners, bro.
Yeah.
Like, she has a really cool voice, and it totally blended well with mine.
My partner was great. My partner was awesome. I really lucked out. I was like, bro, you were godsend. But, man, she went through it, dude.
Oh, really?
Oh, man. So we arranged Grenade. We had a really cool arrangement of Grenade because we both played acoustic guitar. So we came up with this really sick arrangement with like crossing harmonies and like all this stuff. And then we went into the vocal coach to like, you know how you had to like basically show them. I had Nick.
Okay.
Of course. And
he's real with you.
Yeah, he's real, right? And there was like certain parts where she just wasn't like, she was getting scared of certain notes and not like going all in. And he stopped us and looked at her and goes, What's going on? Why are you holding back or whatever? And he goes, I feel like you feel like you're not enough, like you don't deserve to be here. Bro, it was, the floodgates opened up, all of the stuff opened up. Bro, it was literally the next 12 hours of me being like, you got this, but it was her every 30 minutes coming up to me crying because she was like having to like she literally figured out something in her life that emotionally was like she hadn't dealt with, and then she was trying to get it under control and go through like 20 years of therapy in 12 hours and be like, I got to get myself together to sing this song. And she was like, but I'm now emotional mess because he just unlocked something in me that I hadn't dealt with in 20 years of my life. And I was like, bro, like, what can I do?
That's what you get for sitting on the steps and watching the drama go down. She should have been auditioning for us.
Oh, man. That's not even something you could foresee. Like, that's just like, oh, my gosh. I felt so bad for her because she was just going through it. Wow. Oh, my goodness. And I was like, look, we've already practiced this song like 10,000 times. I can't practice it no more. Like, at this point, I'm sleeping, and when I wake up, we're doing the performance. But she was, like, so nervous because she was dealing with all this other stuff. She was like, can we practice it again? I'm like, oh, my God, I'm about to, like, pass out. I'm so tired. Like, ugh. And then, mind you, you're getting no sleep. Like, they got tons of sleep, which was so annoying.
Tons is a complete
They got 8 hours of sleep every freaking night.
I did not get 8 hours of sleep.
You didn't have to be there till freaking 10 o'clock.
Are you kidding me? We had to be at the doors at 7 a.m. every day.
I had to be there at like 5, bro.
Okay, but that doesn't mean I got 8 hours. I still went to bed. My duet night. You got
tons of sleep.
The other nights I usually had like 4 hours.
You went to bed at like 10 and woke up at like 6.
Bruh, no. My duet night. This is super early though too. I went to bed at 12. I had to be up at. In my defense, I had to be up at 4.
I went to bed at 4:30.
Okay.
And I woke up at 5 to get ready to be downstairs by 5:30.
Let me just state. It's not my fault. Me and my duet partner were rocking it.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's what it was.
My duet partner, I loved it because I love being the leader, being like, this is what we're gonna do.
Yeah.
And our personalities were great. Yeah. We didn't know what song to sing, and I low key like forced her to sing this song. I totally convinced her, and I was like, please.
But you guys had a great duet.
I was like, let's sing "Set Fire to the Rain" by Adele, and she was like, can we do this one? And I was like, look, because 7 people could sing each song. And then once the board filled up with 7,
that's it.
No one else could sing it. And I was like, look, no one else is singing this song. There's not a single person. We're not being compared to nobody. It's just us. Yeah. And she was like, okay, I don't really know it. I was like, I'll teach it to you. All you got to learn is your verse and the chorus together. And then we got this. It's only like not even like 90 seconds. Like,
literally, a lot of the stuff had to be like a minute 10, a minute 30.
Yeah. And so basically we started learning it. She was great. She was doing the harmonies, like, no problem, teaching them to me because I can't do harmonies. And it went so great. And to the point that we literally, within like 2 hours, knew the song. We were like, see you tomorrow.
Yeah, bye.
Like, we had it.
That's what I would have hoped.
I lucked out because I am like an Adele worshiper. Love her. So I knew her song like the back of my hand. Yeah. So really it was just me being like, okay, I mean, she kind of knew the song too, but it was like, okay, let's get the words down, harmonies, just working on it together instead of by myself. And then low-key, we were nailing it. We got a standing O the next day. We actually woke up at 4 a.m. because we were like, okay, let's wake up in the morning to practice.
Sure.
In the morning when there's not all these people.
Yeah.
Because you're practicing right here, 5 foot away is Geena practicing.
Yeah.
Another 5 foot away is Michaela. Like, it's really hard. So I was like, let's just wake up early in the morning, get breakfast, get our heads on straight, and practice in the bathroom.
Yeah.
And that's what we did. And then we literally, like, murdered it. Like,
yeah, they had a great performance.
And they barely even aired it. And Lionel Richie was like, if I had to give a class on how to do a duet, this would be my example. Like,
wow.
And we didn't even go like first or anything. We were like 3/4 way through people.
Yeah, they always put me at the end, dude. They had me so hot with that. I was like, dude, like, let me just get it over with. Like, I'm sitting here like, bite my fingernails off like every freaking round. Even in Hawaii, I was the third to last person to go. Damn. I was like 37th or something like that.
You were.
I'm like, dude.
I was 8th. And I was salty because I really tried to not let this get to me because the season before, if you watched it, every single person that sang in the daytime went home.
Oh.
Like, literally 20, like, all the people that sang at night, it was dark out, went through.
Wow.
So when they said I was going 8th.
That's not what happened this time. That's for sure.
So when they said I was going 8th, I was like, I'm going home. It's daytime. I'm performing in the daytime.
Yeah.
And I was like, you know what? No, my song, if my mom was like trying to talk me out of it, being like, you know what, Lauren? No. Your song's upbeat. You're fun. You're putting on a performance. They're just putting you in the mix because they're putting all these boring people. And then they need boring, fun. Yeah. And I was like, I don't know,
your
Mom,
the hype man.
Going in the daytime. No, literally, she's the hype man. Like, even Louis was feeling really down about his song because he was like, oh, they want me to sing Ed Sheeran, blah, blah, blah. My mom was like in the corner hyping him up, being like, no, you got to sell the British. You got to sell the Ed Sheeran. You got to sell the song. You got to believe it. You got to love it. And then he was like, dude, your mom's the best. And I was like, dude, I know. I don't know what I would do without her here.
That's so funny. Okay, so all in all, would you do the show?
You know what? It's hard to say without...
Look, here's the thing. If I do the show again to meet you, yes.
Yes. I don't regret doing the show.
Yeah, I don't. I don't either. Even though it didn't end the way I wanted it to, I still don't regret it.
Mine didn't end the way I wanted it to, but low-key, like, lucked out in my favor.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
For sure, absolutely.
I feel the same way. To go on the show, you meet so many great people. Like, I have, like, at least 3 solid people that I still talk to consistently.
Yeah.
And, like, I have great relationships with them, and I would not have met them if it wasn't for this show. I've met people that are on my team, people that I work with. I work with Geena all the time. We write most of my songs together. Yeah. And I wouldn't have met her if I didn't go on the show.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Yeah, so it's like...
all the people that I met from the show that I liked would not change anything for the world.
But the stress...
the people I didn't like...
the stress and the anxiety of constantly... when you do American Idol, that's your life. Yes. You don't have time to be doing other things on the side.
It's your life for literally like 6 months. Because at least, minimum.
And constantly, behind the scenes, they're like, yo, you need to send us... when we got to top 20... I had to, I think, send in 60 songs. 60. There was different topics. So there was, like, Mother's Day, Disney. You had to have 3 songs for each topic. It was, like, a song you like. Or songs you love. Songs you relate to. Songs that remind you of home. Just all these different topics. 3 for each. I had to come up with 60 songs out of nowhere while working full-time, while being a student.
And they didn't pay you.
And I was like...
they were glad they didn't have me in top 20. Because I would have lit the whole place on fire. If you're telling me I'm in top 20 and I'm not getting paid, heck no.
And we were like making stuff that was like songs that remind you of your mom. I was just picking a song I knew. And then if they interviewed me, I was going to be like, she used to play this around the house.
No, I was like saying random stuff.
I was ready to like BS all my interviews and be like, my mom used to play this around the house as a kid. It's her favorite song.
And you're like, this is actually just a song I can sing
literally
really well.
She's never heard the song in her life. Like, I don't know what I would have done if they would have interviewed her about
it. That's funny.
And like, I was just like making songs up. And on top of it, you're constantly practicing. For me, I suck at vocal rest because I'm constantly talking, constantly laughing.
Correct.
So I was always losing my voice. So I come back, had to be on vocal rest while trying to practice for the next song. And then while I'm ready for my next song, the producers are like, you can't sing that one. So now I've just practiced this one 20,000 times, and now I gotta go find a new song. Yep. And then I'm stressed, the anxiety, being on TV.
Dude, it is stressful being on like shows like that. It's super, super stressful. Like, you're constantly being asked of things that they need from you, even when you're not on the show, like when you're like away from the show. Like for like, let's say like we were away from the show from like Hollywood Week was in November. Then we find out at the end of November that, okay, we make it into top 40, right? And then from there to when we did all the stuff for Hawaii, that was like 3 months. But like literally every freaking day you're getting an email from them of
or
something
text.
that they need from you. What's your family's name? Who's showing up for you? Like all these different things. What song are you singing? We need 3 different arrangements of the songs of like, so we can pick from the 3. Like it's just a lot. And then sometimes like I gave them 3 and I had a really dope arrangement of like Chandelier by Sia. And they're like, everybody bombs that song. Don't do that song. And I'm like, but I have a really sick arrangement. Like, don't you think like somebody should do it right then if everybody's bombed it? And they're like, nope, everybody bombs it. And I'm thinking to myself, why does it even matter if I bomb it? Like, then that's just a reason for you to cut me. Like, you know what I mean? Like, at least that's an easy out for you guys. So then they made me change my song to like Finesse. And you're like, now that's stressful because I was on the plane to Hawaii and still didn't have my song picked.
Yeah.
So then I'm like, well, I could do a really cool arrangement of Finesse, and I had like a really cool idea for it. So I like arrange it in this really cool way. But I'm on the flight to Hawaii, and I'm like supposed to perform in like 5 days. I'm like, what?
And even when you have it picked, like I knew what what I wanted my song to be, but you could go into your vocal coaching at any moment, any of those days, and them say, we don't want you to do this one. Yeah. So you need to have 5.
Yeah, I had
performance ready.
That happened to Grace.
Yeah.
Grace came in, she had this arrangement of this song, and they were like, nope, do you have another song?
And then she went through all 3. 2 days. Like,
she went all 3 songs that she had as a suggestion. They were like, nope. And then they gave her a list of song suggestions. It was like 20 different songs that they're like, well, what about any of these? Can you come up? And she picked a song that she had never heard before and had to do it. Well, she actually did a pretty good job.
Yeah. So you need to be like super prepared.
Yeah, and you just need to feel confident, pick stuff that you know.
And so just the stress of when I'm in class and my teacher's like, no phones.
Right.
And then I have the producer messaging me, what's your first and last name? We need it or like, what's your mom's name? When's your birthday? We need it for whatever.
Yeah.
And then I'm like,
and their email and their address from when they were a child and when they were 2.
And if you want to be on good terms with the producers and on good terms with everyone, you want to answer things quickly because you want to seem like you're professional, you're reliable, you're going to get things done. The label's not going to sign you if that's your main goal with the show. The label's not going to sign you if the producers are like, they don't answer any of their emails. Well, like, you never know.
Didn't happen our season.
But for me, but for me, I want to seem like I'm professional and reliable, and I want to have good relationships with the people who work on the show. So my teachers are now mad at me because mid-class, I'm like, and they're like, what's that for? I'm like, American Idol.
Yeah, right.
Like, leave me alone. I'm trying to do it.
Low key, it's a TikTok.
Yeah. Low key, I'm just texting my boyfriend. Right. But just the stress of that and constantly needing to be around your phone. Like, there was never a day.
Yeah, and when you get done with the show, you're like, oh. Like, you have to, like, decompress because it's a lot. It's, like, a lot of hurry up and wait, and then a lot of just, like,
boom,
chaos.
Boom, boom.
Like, chaos going. And, like, when they need it, they need it.
Yeah.
So then you literally, like, which is what's stressful is you have to stop everything that you're doing just to get what they need.
Yeah.
But that's just
for them not to air it.
That's just a little bit of the facts. I'm sure we could go on and on. All in all, though, like, we don't regret doing the show at all. It was, like, so fun.
If you love music and you're trying to make friends and all that jazz, totally go on the show.
Please go on the show. It's really fun. I mean, figure out the contract scenario. That's the one tidbit I would say. Like, definitely read the contract through and through. But all in all, like, if you're fresh and you ain't got no following and you don't care about contract stuff and you don't care about none of that, go on the show.
Do it.
It's really, really fun. All right, guys. We'll see you next week. Please like and subscribe. Please do it now. Okay, bye.